Jaylo,
Yes.
we've had an interesting morning. And I think
that's an understatement.
at different parts of this day, we have both been upset. And you are the most recent person to become that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I've misplaced my cane. It's very annoying.
I can't think of the last time that's happened to me.
That usually doesn't happen to me. And I usually would have it with me. And I'm not even, I don't remember, I'm trying to remember if I even took it with me. Because I don't think I did.
Yesterday, pretty early in the morning,
mm-hmm.
you and I went to the recycling room. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that you think that you may have left it there.
Yeah, and I checked. I've checked, and I'm not going to go through recycling to find it. It's not, and it was unfolded too. It was.
But you checked a date late.
I checked it. I could go in there and check again, but I haven't found it yet. It may be somewhere stuck in the corner. I don't know.
Do you think that maybe you just folded it up?
No, I didn't. I'll tell you why I know I didn't, because when I bring it into the house, I just hang it on one of my hooks. So I can just easily grab it.
Why would you leave someplace without your cane?
It's possible because I remember we were holding two recycling things, and I'm trying to remember if I think I did have my cane and a recycling bin, and I think you had yours. Do you remember having yours?
Of course.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember now. I know it shouldn't be too far off. But the annoying thing is that I just don't know where. I just don't know. And it doesn't happen to me often. Like, very, very rarely does it ever happen.
It might be gone, babes. If you left it in that room with the recycling.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would put that in the recycling bin either.
It's possible they don't know what to do with it.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was falling apart, but, it was getting old. It was getting older. I've had it for 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, it had to be 2 years.
Well, babes, I feel sorry for you.
Oh.
I do have a foldable cane in my backpack that I keep as a backup in case something happens to my straight cane.
Uh-huh.
So I could possibly give that to you.
Okay. Until I get a new one.
Assuming you don't find...
Assuming that I don't find my cane.
Yes.
Before you go. It's somewhere, or it could be that someone just mistaken it for something else. I don't know.
Did I ever tell you about the time when my mom left out this rat trap?
Did she catch a rat?
Yes, but she kept saying, I should have got the more expensive rat trap, as the rat is like struggling in the trap. And
I remember that. I remember, and the rat was in pain, right?
Yeah, and she's like, he's probably going to struggle for a few more hours, and then probably the pain will lead to a heart attack, and then he'll pass away. And then she went to bed after saying this. And the next day, she checks, and the rat had gnawed through its foot and ran away.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ew.
And my mom just kept saying, as we hear her dying in agony, I probably should have bought a more expensive one, but I wanted to go cheap.
Oh, jeez. She really would. That's a weird one right there, Bubs.
My mom?
Yeah.
She definitely had some issues.
Yeah, why would she kind of like say, this thing's probably going to struggle for a bit? Well, that's what rat traps do.
I guess so.
Right? I mean, that's the only reason why you would have a rat trap is to catch a rat and kill it.
I'm assuming that there are traps that kill rats fairly quickly, but my mom wanted to go with the most inhumane way possible.
Yeah, that was inhumane, apparently.
No.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they'll eat itself if they have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking of my dad a couple hours ago.
Uh-oh.
Well, I wasn't thinking about what a horrible person he was. I can do that anytime. But, my dad's homeless.
Yes.
And they're now saying that in 2 days, which will be Sunday, here in Portland.
Yeah. Actually, no, today... Oh, wait, today is Friday. Yes. You're right. Okay.
It's supposed to hit 110 degrees.
Ew.
And I thought, what's that going to be like for him?
What's it going to be like for a lot of homeless people? Because it's not safe to be out in that. Somebody could burn, have a heat stroke and die if they're not, especially if they're much older and they can't handle it. I would imagine that they would have to find a shelter to cool off.
Multnomah County does have some cooling stations.
Yeah.
I believe that's what the situation is going to be like for the convention center this weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But, who knows if he even knows about that. I mean, I'm fine if he dies. But I'm just saying, I was thinking, well, what's that going to be like for him?
Bubs.
What?
I don't know.
You don't know what? Okay. I was just curious, babes.
That's some unfinished business.
You do.
No, you do.
Oh. You think I should write a letter to my dad to tell him to fuck off or what? Stop.
No. I think you need to deal with your issues and move on with your life.
Okay.
I really don't think you're over it.
Thank you, babes.
No, I'm serious. I mean, you talk about it a lot, and it
do I?
Yes, you do. You've talked about it more than once this week.
Okay.
I think there's some stuff that you have to deal with.
Can I get a kiss?
No.
Why not?
Okay, I'll kiss you. I don't know how that's going to help, though.
Okay.
I can't believe I don't know where my cane is. It's so annoying.
I know.
Oh.
I should say, I decided that we should cook earlier today. And there was a little bit of drama in the kitchen. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I felt like one of us wasn't quite as mindful as the other one. And by one of us, I mean the one who lost the cane. But we made it through the situation.
But you also have to keep in mind that we usually don't cook stuff that early. Like, I think we started cooking about 9.
Yes.
And we normally don't cook. We don't normally cook like a meal like that early in the day.
I do sometimes will do that at home, but you don't.
No.
But the reason we did that was, again, because of the weird heat situation that we're going to be in this weekend. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. But we made it work. What do we do? We
cooked up some chicken thighs, which were really good, by the way. I'm glad I got them. I could have gotten more. I mean, I think I still have some leftover chicken from another dish. But we had some chicken thighs and we cooked that with potatoes, carrots, and broccoli and some rice. And some gravy on top of that.
Then we roasted it.
It's really good.
In the oven.
It was delicious.
I thought this turned out pretty good.
Your seasonings, good choice. The meat was really moist. It didn't feel rubbery to me when I was cutting into it.
Yeah.
Because if it did, I wouldn't have been able to cut through it. And it was good. It was really good.
At one point, I get a little bit upset because my perception is that you're not paying attention. And I ask you to, hey, why don't you just move the chicken around in the pan while I'm working in the pot? And you were kind of like pushing the chicken outside of the pan.
I wasn't trying to do that.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, let's switch roles. You go to the bathroom for a second to wash your hands. Mm-hmm. And I take out the
garlic.
The garlic. And I just touched the chicken for some reason. So what I did is you have minced garlic and I took off the top and I was planning to pour some over. But my hands were a little bit dirty from touching the chicken. My right hand.
Yes.
My left hand was fine and that was going to be my pouring hand.
Yeah.
But then I dropped the garlic and I'm like, oh shit. Now I gotta clean my hand and get this taken care of. And then you come back out right as I'm getting done cleaning my hand. I have you go into the rice and then I go to the rice and the rice was sticking to the bottom of the pot, but I'd asked you before then. Hey,
well, I didn't feel it at the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying what happened.
Okay.
We're cool now.
Right.
But I was a little bit upset, but we made it work, babes.
And the garlic, and you didn't spill a lot of garlic either.
No. Oh, good. Oh, yeah, because you cleaned it up.
I did, yeah.
Yes. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So I had to wash my hands and then put the lid on. And then I washed the outside of the container.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, but we made it through and there's still some left over. So we're going to have an extra bowl later on.
For dinner?
For Din.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we were trying to get Miss A to play Music Soul Child.
It wasn't working.
Because you were playing music here in the bedroom.
It was odd because I think I probably know why. I think it's so strange to have two dots in my house. Because I notice that if I close a door quickly and I ask this dot to do something for me, it'll say it. And I would have to like go to the kitchen, find the other dot, and say the same thing, and it will play. But sometimes it's a little bit weird.
It can be.
Yeah.
Especially on the plan that where you have it to where it'll only play through one speaker.
Yeah. And it's like, why? Yeah, like I really have to make sure that this door is closed or that I'm standing near the other dot, so that it could actually hear me instead of the one in the room. Cause I'm like, what? I just asked the one to play it for me. No wonder it was playing in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we made it work, babes.
We did.
Yes.
That's happened too when I've had my earphones plugged into one of the dots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no wonder why it's not playing. My earphones are in there. Yes.
But overall, it was good. Before you discovered that your cane was gone, you were talking to me about soap operas.
Yes. So, my grandma used to watch soap operas when I was small, and there were some that I watched a little bit. But the one soap opera that I watched for a while was called Passions. I won't go too much into it, but one of the reasons why I liked the show was because they featured a 300-year-old witch with her little doll, and that was the entertaining part of the soap. Unfortunately, the actor who played the doll died. He was a dwarf, and he had some kind of a heart condition. Something happened with his heart, and it was some kind of an operation. I think it had something to do with his heart or whatever it was, and he was sick and he went to the doctor too late, and during an operation he didn't make it. It was really sad, and he was only like 20 years old.
Oh, that sucks.
It was very, very sad. Yeah, it was very sad. And he was one of the main stars of Passions. And Juliet Mills, who is a sister of Haley Mills, played the witch.
Who's Haley Mills? I know the name.
Haley Mills was on That Darn Cat, and she also did the Parent Trap movie, the original one.
No wonder I really don't know her too well then.
She was also on Saved by the Bell.
Nice.
She played Miss Bliss in the early seasons of Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, we got you. Whoa.
Yes.
Yes. So, I was 19 once.
I'm sure you were.
And
as was I.
Yes. I was very depressed though. I got out of a fairly long-term relationship with a crazy person who you know of.
I know of, yes.
And she was...
and unfortunately, I know someone who knows her too.
Great in bed, but very...
All right. We need to know about your past sex life.
So I'm told. Anyways, and then there was other stuff going on in my life too at the time. And you're asking yourself, well, what does this have to do with soap operas? And I'm about
why?
to tell you. So I spent about a year just in my mom's basement, smoking weed every day and watching TV. Right? Around 2001, 2002-ish. And I started watching, I don't know if it was All My Children or General Hospital, but it was one of those daytime soaps. And there was this girl on it who I thought was fairly attractive. And I almost wrote her a letter. Like, I was thinking, well, what if I wrote her a letter and see if I could get something started with this girl? But then part of me said, she's probably in her late 20s. I'm 19, and that could come off as very creepy.
Yeah, what would she want with you? Right. I'm just a lay person that doesn't act. Do you know who she played?
Some character named Bailey?
Oh, wait, Bailey. She might have been on All My Children.
It was one of those shows.
One of them, yeah.
I know it was an ABC soap opera.
Might have been either All My Children or General Hospital. That's One Life to Live, maybe?
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I don't really know the plots. I just know that this girl looked really attractive. And I'd watch scenes with her in it, so so don't ask me to tell you, well, was so-and-so sleeping with this character, or was this before or after they discovered time travel? That's above my pay grade. But I'm just saying that's part of my limited experience with soap operas. And I know that my mom and sister were very into the soap operas when I was growing up.
Oh, so you had no problem watching it?
It's not that I had no problem. I mean, they weren't like my favorite shows, but I'd see them on occasions.
Yeah, I got...
On occasion.
Yeah, so I followed somewhat a little bit of soap operas because my aunts would watch soap operas and my grandma loved watching. She would call them her stories. I had to watch my shows or my stories.
My grandfather used to call the TV shows he liked his stories.
So these are stories or shows. I can't remember what it was. And I was so annoyed because I wanted to watch cartoons. I wanted to watch Nickelodeon when it was still good. And, anyway, so I used to watch a little bit of, General Hospital because that's one of the longest running soap operas from what I understand. And I used to watch All My Children and One Life to Live.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into the Soap Network?
No, I didn't get into SoapNet.
I think you're familiar with it though, right?
Yes, I have heard of it, yes.
Yeah, I think it was partially owned by ABC because they had a lot of the ABC soap operas on there.
Yeah.
I mean, I never got into it, but I would flip by, channels when I had cable and see it on occasion.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, babes.
Okay.
But that's my experience with soap operas.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You just watched it for the girl, which I guess would make sense.
One specific girl.
Yes.
And she's like this sweet character on the show.
Yeah.
But she could turn naughty if she was with me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. I love you, babes. What?
Honestly.
Oh, I did watch another soap opera around that time.
Yeah.
But it was more because I was depressed. I watched a soap opera on TBN called The 700 Club.
That's not a soap opera, but
it's not.
That is a religious program that I no longer watch.
They keep talking about this dude called the Devil.
Of course.
Yeah. But you never see him on the show.
Well, Bubs, he appears in different forms.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I think now he's appearing as a My Pillow guy. All right. Stop.
Okay.
Can we tell the story, babes?
No.
Oh, we're not allowed to tell that story?
No.
Stop. Do you ever think, babes, that one of the reasons you tickle is because you find it so hard to win with words? Or
no, that's not true.
Why do you think you tickle so much?
I just do it just so that, just as a way to get out my frustration. Because I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to hurt you.
But what if you just debated me instead?
I don't feel like debating.
Oh.
So I go to the next best thing ever. Tickle torture. Okay, tickle twoosh.
Okay. Can we talk about what happened last night with Mike Lindell?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to.
Uh-oh. I kind of do, but I will respect you if you don't.
I don't want to.
Okay. Okay.
I do not, because I don't think it's important, really.
Let's talk about something I meant to bring up yesterday, but forgot to.
What happened?
Joanne Linville died about a week ago.
Oh, right, because you told me that. I'm like, who is Joanne Linville? I don't know Joanne Linville, and then you're like, oh, she was a Romulan woman.
Commander in the episode The Enterprise Incident.
Yeah.
From the original series. She was 93 years old.
Wow. She was an old fart.
Yeah. And we watched her when she was a middle-aged fart.
Yeah, well, she was fairly young and attractive at that time, right?
39.
Okay, she wasn't middle-aged.
Okay.
She wasn't quite middle-aged yet. I would say, like, she would have to be, like, 45 to 50, right?
I think middle age is actually considered 45 to 60 for some reason. But now remember, this was back in the 60s, so I don't know what it was like back then. But she was hot on that episode.
I'm sure she was. But...
Yeah. How do you feel about her death?
I have no comment.
Okay.
I only saw her in one episode, and that's all I know of her. I have no comment.
I've been watching that episode of Star Trek since I was 9 years old. Not, every day or anything.
Oh, I was going to say, geez, if you're watching it every day, you had no life.
Yeah. It's not like some people who watch The Man from Earth every month. But,
How could you watch it every month? I don't believe he does.
Okay.
How could you? Unless
you just hate yourself.
Well, and what exactly would it teach you every single month? It's not like it's like one of those movies where you watch and you get something different out of it. It's like, it's a movie that you watch and you're like, is it done yet?
Yes.
Is it over?
Yes.
Can we go to a different movie?
Oh my goodness.
Please.
But it is weird that, I know her from an episode of a TV show. Mm-hmm. And yet I was surprised when I heard that she had died. Mm. I mean, I didn't even know if she was still alive, really.
Oh, wow.
And it leads to an interesting question. Mm-hmm. How many more years do you think it'll be before everybody involved with the original series of Star Trek is gone?
I really don't know. Because they're aging pretty quickly. So.
And a lot of them are gone now.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
I would imagine.
It is strange that Olivia de Havilland died last year at 104.
Yes.
And she was like the last surviving person involved with the
Gone with the
Wind film.
Wow, so when I was born, she was around 64. When you were born, she was about 66.
Yeah. And somebody put it in an interesting perspective by saying that she was a movie star before World War II.
Wow.
Like that's how old she was.
Wow. Yes. That's crazy.
It is, babes.
And she played Melanie, right?
I
Miss Melanie?
So. Yes.
Yes.
If I'm correct.
Yes.
Which I may not be.
Because Vivian Leigh, of course, was Scarlet.
She's gone.
She's gone too.
Yes.
And she was crazy before she went, right?
That's right. She was.
Okay.
Okay.
What made her insane?
Probably just being controlled by the studio or being married to Laurence Olivier didn't help.
Oh, they were both pretty crazy?
I would imagine so. They're both actors.
Okay.
Yes. Babes.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
We gotta talk about the 2 Twilight Zone episodes we saw before we get to the movies.
That's right.
Yes.
And what we ate last night.
What we ate last night, yes.
But first, listener, the Twilight Zone. I felt the first episode was a little bit predictable. Do you want me to talk about it?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Starts off, a man is telling the story about before World War II, he got lost and ended up at this villa. Was taken in. Person who is the head of the home said, "We really can't have you here. We want you to leave now." Goes to leave. And
his name was Jerome, by the way.
Jerome was the main character?
Jerome was the old guy.
Okay, who's the main character?
David Ellington.
David Ellington falls to the ground.
Yep.
Next time we see him, my man Dave is walking around, and he sees somebody who is chained up.
Yep.
So it goes up to him, says, "What are you doing here?" And the guy says, "They're holding me prisoner. I've been here for 5 years. You got to do something to get me out of here." Jerome comes in, stops the conversation. David goes with Jerome, and Jerome says, "That man is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
He's chained up. He's safe. He's not hurting anybody. And yes, we're still having troubles in the world, but they're not the types of things like wars that we would have if the devil was free."
Mm-hmm.
So what does David do? He thinks that Jerome is lying. And later that night, because David's still recovering, he's supposed to leave the next day, he goes down to the cell, releases the devil,
Right.
who goes out into the world. And now we go to what is then modern time. David is explaining to his maid that it took him years to track down the devil.
Right.
But he finally did.
Found him, yep.
And he's behind this door. The door is locked.
Yes.
And he's telling the maid, "Don't go in there, whatever you do. I'm going to have him shipped back to Jerome in the morning."
Yes.
He leaves. Lady releases the devil.
Uh-oh.
Yes. That's the episode.
Yeah, well.
I like the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a lot of flaws in it. What do you think?
I would agree.
So something that came to my mind is when Jerome captures the devil, why doesn't he just kill him?
I know. I mean, in real life, a human would not be able to do that. But why, if for this show, why couldn't he just, shoot him or something? Also,
why did David just leave the devil with his maid? If it's
I
so
know,
important?
and we don't even know much about the maid. She doesn't even talk.
Yeah.
Why would he leave? Why wouldn't he keep him? Why would he keep him out of his sight?
Exactly.
Why couldn't he just watch him and say, "Hey, if you move, I'm going to kill you. You stay in there."
Yeah.
Put him on a leash. I don't know. Put him on a leash, tie him to whatever, and make sure that he's there, and then just shoot him.
This is going to sound like a ridiculous question.
Oh.
But if somebody did capture the devil, which I don't believe there's a devil, but that's my own opinion.
There is.
I don't believe it, but who knows?
There is.
If somebody were to capture the devil and were to kill him, would the devil just go to hell?
If it were possible, probably.
Oh.
He'll just go back to where he was, to where he has been. Well, he's been to and fro from the earth, but, I'm sure he would go back there. But no human, would be able to do that.
Oh, not even you.
No, of course not.
Well, good.
No.
Well, good.
Well, see, he's very smart and very cunning. He appears in different forms.
I don't know about all that.
Yes.
But it's interesting to speculate about that type of stuff.
Yes.
Yes, babes.
And there is one.
I don't know.
Yes, there is.
I find it hard to believe, okay?
Oh, it is true.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Well, is there anything else you want to say about this episode?
No, I don't. I mean, I didn't like it as much as the other one.
No. Oh, here's a question for you.
Right.
Since you believe in the devil and I don't, is it hard for you to be a Christian when you're around so many people with different faiths?
No.
Why not?
Because I just feel like there's going to be opposition anyway. And it shouldn't deter me from sharing my faith or living out my faith, even though there's people around me that may not believe the same thing. Because there's going to be opposition anyway. And if you read a lot of the things that have happened to the first century Christians, like Paul and Peter, I mean, they've gone through a lot worse things that I could go through. I mean, Stephen One of the disciples was stoned to death.
Oh.
Paul was put in prison along with Silas. He was eventually released. John the Baptist's head was cut off after he was in prison. I mean, there's so many things that could happen, and a lot of bad things happen to those people. So, but I think it's all worth it, really.
I don't know, babes.
It's not hard. It's, how should I say this? It's, trying and difficult, but I think it's all worth it, really. I wouldn't trade my life with anybody else's.
That's interesting. Here's a bizarre question for you.
Uh-oh.
The devil comes to earth. Somebody catches him. Mm-hmm. And it kills him. Right before the devil dies, he accepts Jesus into his heart. What happens?
I don't know, honestly. First off, I don't think that would happen because that's not in prophecy.
But what if it did?
I don't know that he could, though.
Well, here's an even more bizarre question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that it's unfair for Christians to blame the devil for things that go wrong, in the sense that God created the devil to do harm?
Well, God created Lucifer, but Lucifer decided to do harm. It decided to be like God. So that's why he was is now cast from his position.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I thought it's in the prophecy. So if God's the one behind the prophecy, then isn't it God who's making Lucifer do this stuff?
No, it's because of Lucifer's decision that this is happening to him. It's not God's decision. God created Lucifer, and he was an important angel in heaven, but because of his decision to be because he wanted to be more like the Most High, that's why he was punished.
I have a question that's a little bit unrelated to this.
Okay.
Would you like to straddle me right now?
No!
Okay. All right. Keep tickling me and we're going to bring up the My Pillow guy. Why don't we move on to the second episode of Twilight Zone, unless there's anything else you want to say about this one?
No, I honestly don't think it's as good as the second one.
I would agree. Go ahead.
So from what I understand, what's his name? Mr. Templeton. I forgot his first name. He is an older man who had a prominence in the theater. He did a lot of plays. And he was talking to somebody about his late wife, Laura.
Because Templeton is remarried to a much younger woman.
Yeah. Who
he believes is kind of like messing around.
Yes. And I don't remember what his first name is. But he is talking to this guy about Laura, and that she was only with him for 7 years until she died. She was 18 and then she died when she was 25 because I think she got sick.
Something like that,
yeah. So, so he talks to this guy, and he, sometime after that, he ends up in a play, and the director is talking to the people in this play, and he says, there are 3 nights that are important to you. The first night, opening night, and closing night. And before he starts everything, he asks Mr. Templeton, I forgot what his first name was. What was his first name? I cannot remember. It's going to drive me crazy. Anyway.
Was it Timmy?
Timmy? No.
Timmy Templeton?
No. Not Timmy Templeton. Although that would be funny.
Irregardless of his first name, though.
I forgot what it is. Anyway, so he asks Mr. Templeton, "Are you in the play or are you out?" And then before he realizes it, he starts to leave, and he says, "Hey, come back here, come back here." Continue on, please.
Crowd follows him, and now Mr. Templeton is back in 1927, about 30 years before this episode is based. He's a star, and he goes to this restaurant, which is actually more of a speakeasy, where he meets up with a friend of his who has since died and his now deceased wife.
Laura.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a commotion. Laura ends up telling him, "You don't belong here. Go back to where you're from."
You know, she's telling him pretty much you're a bore.
Yes.
And he's like, I don't like what you've become.
He leaves, finds a script in his pocket, and we are led to believe that this is a play that Templeton is in.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's based on what he, that experience he had.
Yes.
And he said, I realize that, and the guy asked him, "Are you in or are you out?" He's like, "Well, I realized that the first, I had an extraordinary experience, and I realized that the first, rehearsal is the most important, day."
It was an interesting episode.
It was.
What does this episode teach us about being stuck in our own way?
It's not good sometimes.
Okay.
Gotta change a little bit.
Besides for Mr. Templeton's first name, is there anything else you would like to ask me about this episode?
What did you think about his interaction with his ex-wife Laura, his deceased wife Laura?
That was okay. It could have been a little bit more in depth. I thought that I don't know. It was interesting. It was okay.
Did you notice anything about Laura that was off or?
No.
Okay.
It's really weird talking about episodes of The Twilight Zone because it is an anthology series.
Yes, it is.
So you can't really go, at least I can't go very deep into the reasoning behind what the characters do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
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 That's white.
That's white. Babes.
Yeah.
You, me, and your mom and one of my friends went out to a concert last week, which we talked about last time.
Yes, we did.
But as a result of that journey, even though I wore sunscreen and aloe vera, I got a sunburn.
Yeah.
And yesterday I'm starting to itch a lot, so I'm thinking, did, some ants get inside your apartment or anything weird like that?
Yes.
And I look at my arms, because it's mostly on my arms, and they're white because the skin is peeling off.
Oh, no.
Now, I've been putting aloe vera on it all week.
Okay.
So just that little disclaimer.
It just looks white.
Yeah, because it's,
It's not red.
No, it's not red anymore, but it's starting to peel off.
Oh,
so that's why my skin is itchy.
Uh-oh.
You might hear me scratching.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you will.
Sorry.
That's okay, babes. Is there anything else you want to say about this episode of The Twilight Zone?
No, but I liked it better than the first one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it made a little bit more sense.
Yes. What did we do for dinner, Jaylo?
We made a very cheesy pasta. We cooked some rigatoni with gorgonzola cheese and cream cheese. We forgot to get the sour cream. But it was really good.
Here's what happened.
Yes.
We had discussed doing a baked rigatoni. And for whatever reason, I didn't suggest that Alana buy any vegetables. And I didn't realize that until after we'd gotten the groceries yesterday from the Walmart delivery person. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we're thinking, well, should we do it with tomato sauce or not? Eventually we decide, no, we're not going to do it that way. So I'm looking at the ingredients and I decide this is what we're going to do. We cooked the rigatoni. And in another pot that Alana has, when it was done, I poured the water into that pot, which had gorgonzola and the cream cheese in it. Mm-hmm. I then took that pot and put it on the stovetop to cook down some of the water at a low heat as I'm whisking everything together with your whisk. And I poured some of the crushed garlic into that pot as well. Then we take everything, we throw it into my ceramic baking dish. And then, we mix everything together, then we pour it into the ceramic dish. Because we poured all the liquid and the pasta into the big pot that you have. Mix it all together, put it in the ceramic dish, and then I started grating some Parmesan cheese. Freshly grated Parmesan.
Yeah.
We threw it on top, mixed everything together, cooked it for about 20 minutes, and then had it.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
pretty good.
Yeah. When we do that again, we should add some chicken and broccoli to it.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
But for just being pasta and cheese, it did turn out really good.
It was delicious.
Yes.
Yes. It was very good.
Not the first time you've had my white sausage.
But
you liked it. You liked it.
I had no white sauce.
Oh. It's called a joke there.
I know, Bubby.
I know, but you know.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, what ifs? But it was a good dinner. Can we talk about Michael and Dale?
No.
Maybe that's going to be the title of this episode. No, it's not going to be the title because we already have something better.
Mm-hmm.
I come in the bedroom. Okay, we're not going to talk about it.
It's not that important.
But it's kind of funny, and this is an archive of our lives.
It's not funny.
It is kind of funny.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it is. Do you want to plug your ears for like a minute?
No.
Okay, all right. Give me a kiss.
Mm.
Oh, somebody.
You don't have to talk about everything that I get mad at you about.
And you were wrong. Give me a kiss. Even though you're wrong, give me a kiss. Without making farting noises. Were you, babes, one of those kids who always talked about farting?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I wasn't like little boys who like to talk about pooping and farting and barfing and all that.
I wasn't sure because you do.
No, it's just a funny noise. It's not like I'm obsessed with it or anything.
Okay, good.
Jeez.
I love you there, Jaylo.
I bet you were obsessed with those kinds of things when you were a little boy.
No.
Yes, I think so.
That's your hope. Every time I tell Lana I'm going to the bathroom, you would think it's like Christmas Eve because
no, I wouldn't. That's disgusting. I don't care what you do in there. I just don't want to know about it.
No, but I say I'm going to the bathroom. You're like, oh.
So?
No, I don't know. I love you. But we are going to be calling this episode 12 Angry Jaylos for a reason.
Okay.
Yes. One of them being, because multiple reasons, is last night we sat down and watched 12 Angry Men.
It was really good, too.
It was.
Yeah.
Would you like me to give the recap?
Yes, and I'll chime in, too.
I believe I said here that Jack Lemmon is in 12 Angry Men. I think I got that wrong because sometimes I think things that aren't necessarily true. And that would be one of the occasions. Yeah. But anyways, Henry Fonda is in the movie. Mm-hmm. Starts off, Judge is talking to these jurors and saying, now you have to go in and decide whether this man is guilty. And if so, he's going to get the death penalty and we're going to fry him. Mm-hmm. So do your thing. Mm-hmm. They go into the room and everybody's convinced, okay, this guy is a cold-blooded killer, except for Henry Fonda, who just says, I'm not sure I'm convinced about that. Let's examine the facts. And a few details start creeping in. The man they're talking about is only 18. Mm-hmm. He's accused of killing his father. Mm-hmm. And he had the son experience a very difficult childhood. His mom died when he was 9.
Yep.
He was sent away to a home for a couple of years. Had a bad relationship with his dad.
Yeah, because he was being hit all the time.
Mm-hmm. More and more stuff starts coming out too about how, is it really possible? Because at court, a couple of neighbors said that they had seen this boy commit the crime, or at least, if not commit the crime, then walking away from the crime.
One of them saw him do it, or claims that she saw him do it, and somebody else saw him running away.
Yes. And they're really examining the facts and trying to determine, is it likely that they're telling the truth in this situation or remembering it wrong?
Yes.
Slowly, he starts to sway the other jurors.
The one guy who says that he's not guilty.
Which is Henry Fonda, juror number 8.
Yes, and I just wanted to give a side note that when I read, I think it was the version of the play that was made for school kids, because it wasn't as detailed as that. I don't remember it. And I was juror number 8, who was the one that said not guilty.
Very good, babes.
Yes.
Yes. Jack Klugman is in the movie. He plays somebody who grew up in a bad neighborhood and changed his life. Mm-hmm. He's convinced, and more people start to believe that this kid didn't do it. Eventually, Henry Fonda sways the jury to vote not guilty.
You're forgetting one part.
I'm forgetting something.
One of the details was that there was a knife in this crime, and it had a certain curved handle and a curved blade. They took out, one of the jurors took out the knife, and then another guy took out an identical knife that looked just like it.
I believe it's the bailiff brought in the knife.
Yeah.
Which, in the courtroom, they were told that this is an extremely rare knife. Nobody else in the city has it.
Yeah.
And there's maybe like 10 like it in the world.
Right.
Then Henry Fonda pulls out the identical knife that he bought.
Right.
Yes.
Looks like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's another thing. And what?
No, you go ahead.
And then they were noticing other details, like the woman who claimed that she saw him. They're saying, well, did you notice that there were some things on the side of her nose?
Yes.
And she had, I think they were saying that she had glasses on.
That she must have been wearing glasses.
She must have been wearing glasses.
Because of the way her nose looked.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I don't know if this is a case. I'm assuming that the kid who is accused of killing his dad is black.
Okay, how is that?
Again, I'm not sure about this, but they kept referring to him as them and those people, and we know how those people act.
Right.
And this was made back in the 50s.
But they were not singling out any races. They were just saying these kids are from a bad neighborhood and they were born that way.
Right, and you can befriend some of them. Somebody once said something, but you got to be very watchful of them.
Yeah.
That's my assumption, is that he was black.
Okay.
And that's the way they dealt with it back then, was by phrasing it that way.
I'm not too sure that he was.
I'm pretty sure he was.
I mean, we'll never know. Obviously, it's just a fictional story. But
why? What do you think? Do you think they were just saying that he was poor?
I never thought about race when I was watching this movie. I just assumed that, well, the kids from these bad neighborhoods are forever hoodlums.
Oh, see, I definitely went to race with me.
Okay, I didn't think about that.
Oh.
I'm not that woke.
Well, no, babes, it comes with examining history too, babes.
Oh my goodness.
And being a student. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What did you think of the film?
I thought it was really good. I did not expect Jack Klugman. He was the one that was saying not guilty for the longest time, right?
He was saying guilty for a little while at the beginning, and then he started to change.
Was he the one that said not guilty because he wanted to go and watch a game?
No, babes. Jack Klugman was the guy who was raised in the bad neighborhood.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. But the one guy that was sticking to his guns about the kid being guilty, was that him?
No, I just said that wasn't him.
Okay. What I was trying to say is, the only guy, the one that was like, hey, what's going on here? I still think he's guilty, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that he was not going to budge, but at the end he was like, not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yes.
And then towards the end, somebody knocked on the door and they said, we're ready now.
Yes, babes.
What did you think about what did you think about the ending of the movie when they all left the courtroom?
I liked it.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, so long. Nice working with you.
I have a very good friend of mine, babes,
Uh-oh.
who you've met.
Okay.
And like 3 months ago, we were on the phone. This person immigrated to this country, which is relevant to the story I'm about to tell.
Okay.
He tells a story about how he came here his last year of high school. And they watched the movie 12 Angry Men in class.
Yeah.
Over the phone 3 months ago, I say, oh, that's such a great movie. I'm so glad that they showed you that film in class.
Uh-huh.
Having not seen the movie.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Having not seen the movie. So you never admitted to your friend that you didn't see it?
No.
And now you can see that you did.
I know.
Now he can find out when he sees this episode. What? You mean you told me you did and you actually...
Rick, I cannot believe you. I believed you that you saw the movie. My friend is from India. And yes, I do this accent in front of him, so it's not racist. It's just me being an asshole. But I do it in front of him.
That is true.
Yes. You've been around me when I do my Indian.
Well, actually, it's kind of funny. I mean, as long as he's okay with it, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think maybe it mildly annoys him, but I don't think he goes to bed at night thinking I'm a hateful person or anything.
Which makes me glad that you don't know the Filipino accent.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
It's white.
What does Henry Fonda in this movie tell us about giving somebody a fair shot?
I think that, there's so many things I could say about this. I think that he wanted to give this kid a fair shot because, number one, he was only 18 years old. He hasn't even lived half of his life yet. And he wanted him to have a better life from what he had before, with being shipped off to a home and his mother dying, his father abusing him, things like that. And maybe he thought, well, maybe he really didn't do it. And I don't know what he was thinking, if maybe he was acting in self-defense or maybe he actually didn't do it and somebody else did. I don't know.
What does the last juror to flip teach us about having our preconceived notions?
I'm not sure how to answer that question. Well, how would you answer that?
In my mind, I think sometimes we are told something or led to believe something, and it's hard for us to let go of that belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the case with the last juror who said not guilty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are a couple things that came up in my mind. One, how many innocent people have been convicted of murder?
Exactly.
Because a jury just believed it without
actually going through
the evidence in question.
Yes, yes.
And the other thing that came through my mind is, and I know I've been on a recording kick recently, so take this with that, but wouldn't it be interesting, and I don't know if this is standard practice now, something tells me it's not, but wouldn't it be interesting if at the end of each court day, after the jury see the testimony, if they went back to discuss things and their discussions were recorded?
Mm-hmm.
Because that way they can compare it. So if you remember, at the part where they're talking about the nose and the lady who came in, they're kind of saying, oh yeah, I remember her nose, or it was like this, or it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had talked about it the day of and had a recording of it, it would have been easier for them to just go back and listen to what they said.
Very true. Yeah. Very true.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything about this movie that you would like to ask me?
There was one juror that had an exceptionally high voice for a guy.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if he was a teenager or not.
I think he was in his 40s.
Are you serious?
That's what it looked like.
You thought that he was young too, right?
Well, yeah, but at first I didn't see him. I was just listening to the voice.
He sounded like he could have been in his 20s.
I know, babes.
I mean, his voice was up here.
Yes.
His voice was like at the same register as mine.
Oh my goodness.
Slightly.
Yes.
Yeah. Had a high voice.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you was.
Because he's like, I've never been on a jury before.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
And I'm thinking, I bet you haven't.
Yes. Where's your mommy?
Where's your mommy and daddy?
Yeah. Did I tell you, babes, that I almost went into jury duty last year?
No. That happened to me like in my early 20s.
Oh, is that when you use your blindness to get out of it?
I think I don't remember what happened. But I was out. I did get out of it.
I thought you had your aunt call them and be like, oh, goodness, she's blind. Okay.
I forgot how I got that resolved, but I didn't have to go to jury duty.
Well, mine got resolved because of COVID, because I was all in on going to serve on a jury.
I think you told me that. You're
Yes.
like, I might be going to jury duty. Yes,
I
remember that.
It was supposed to be on April 7th. And I reached out to somebody at the courthouse and said, is it safe? I know that we have COVID, but is it safe to assume that I should plan on coming in for this date? And they said, no, it's not safe to assume that. There's a good chance that you won't be called in for jury duty.
Wow.
Like most people do the opposite. And I was like excited to do it.
Yeah.
And they said, check on the website a couple of days beforehand because there's a very good chance that we're not going to use you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what ended up happening.
Wow.
But I would have gone and served. I had a teacher, babe.
Yeah.
Who used to go to jury duty, I think every year.
Really?
Now they've changed the laws to where you can only do it once every 2 years.
Okay.
But I remember him going and being part of jury duty more than once.
Wow.
So that's why I'm assuming it was like once a year. But he was very excited to do it, and he said that this is part of somebody's civil responsibility, and it really made me think about it in a different way.
Yeah.
Speaking of jury duty.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Pauly Shore movie of the same name?
I heard of it.
It's not that good.
I don't remember seeing it. It's possible. I know for sure I heard of it, but I think I remember seeing previews and it didn't seem that great.
I liked it as a kid, but again, it was before I had a well-developed movie palette.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons I bring that up in relation to this film is in the movie Jury Duty with him, Pauly Shore, and Tia Carrera, there is a scene where they're talking on the phone together about the case. Mm-hmm. And Pauly Shore is flipping through the channels, just happens to see 12 Angry Men, and it's quoting lines from the movie to Tia Carrera.
Right.
Because of course that would happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course it would happen.
Right. But I don't know. When I was watching the movie last night, it made me think of Jury Duty.
That is really funny.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We're not going to watch that movie.
No, I don't need to watch it.
Everything else has been seen multiple times. That's good.
Yes.
Yes. Is there any other questions you would like to ask me about this movie? Well, you technically haven't asked me any questions about it.
I have not. What did you think about that guy who changed his guilty to not guilty? Because remember when they said, did you say guilty the first time because you wanted to go to a game?
Yeah.
When you got these tickets?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if his reasoning changed, but he followed the crowd, and we are led to believe as the audience that it was the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
I suppose.
Yes. In real life, would you recommend this film to anybody that you know?
Yes, I would.
And
yes, I would.
What would be your elevator pitch to them?
It's even if it's a Hollywood kind of a glimpse into jury duty, it's an interesting movie to watch because it really made me wonder about what really goes on in the jury room when they have to go through all the evidence and they have to make the decision. And sometimes it's because they almost became a hung jury.
Yeah.
And if that's a hung jury, that means that they have to go to trial again.
Yes.
So, it really makes me wonder what goes on in the chambers of the jury and how they pick the jurors. I don't know.
It's a very good movie.
It is a good movie.
What would you give it?
I give it an 8.
I would too.
Yes.
Yes.
Solid 8.
Another really good Sidney Lumet film.
What else did he direct again?
We talked about this many times. He directed Network.
Oh, that's right. Network. Yeah, yes. Sorry. Yes. Was there anything else besides Network and...
Oh, yeah. He's done a lot of movies.
Okay. That's what I really want to know about. I knew about Network.
Okay. He did Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Oh, wow.
He... a movie called Night Falls on Manhattan, I think he directed with Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, wow.
He directed a bunch of movies. He directed some movie called The Pawnbroker. I think he did he do 3 Days in the Condor? I want to say he directed that. And several other movies as well.
Wow.
Yeah. But he's dead now.
He's dead.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to say about this film?
No, I think people should watch it. It's a classic.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then from a classic, we watched something else.
We watched something else that I didn't know much about because my mom watched it and it was on Amazon Prime. And
let me first say I was a little bit nervous about watching this movie because I know how your mom, I have a sense of how your mom is. So when you told me you wanted to watch this movie because your mom watched it, I was a little bit concerned. And then when I started researching it and found out that it was a made-for-TV film, I was even more worried. But we watched it anyways.
Yeah, and my mom watches different movies too. She doesn't, just watch movies like that.
Okay.
She watches different things.
Quick. Has she ever watched From Dusk Till Dawn?
I don't know if she would like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What if you showed that movie to her babes and it became like her favorite film?
We're not talking about that.
I'm just asking. It's in the side.
No.
How would you feel if she watched it and it became her favorite movie?
Well, good for her. I don't need to watch it.
Okay. All right. So back to this movie. I Was a Mail Order Bride. Was that the name of it?
I think it was called either Mail Order Bride or I Was a Mail Order Bride.
With Valerie Bertinelli.
A very young Valerie Bertinelli. She was 22.
Yes. Tell me about this movie.
So, she is a journalist for a local, I think it was like a local romance column or something in Chicago.
Some magazine.
In a column in a magazine. And she was doing the story called Romance on the Rails, and it didn't really fly. She was trying to write that story. And her boss is like, well, why don't you do something else? And, and they ended up talking about mail order brides. It's like, well, why don't you do an experiment and put an ad in there saying that you're looking for somebody, you put in an ad that you're looking for a guy. And this is supposed to happen for 2 weeks. So she puts in an ad. She goes to this party. I think I may be skipping because there were some things in there that wasn't really important. But she goes to this party and the friend, this guy says that, his name is Robert.
No.
What?
There's some party, but I don't know what it has to do with the movie, but she starts corresponding because people write to her because she has her name out there.
But there was a guy that was posing as Robert at the party.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
I guess so. I guess I missed that part, but keep going.
And, so Kate is corresponding with this guy named Robert. And, his friend, and I think he works with him, Joe, is saying, hey, look, why don't you I bet that you can't pull this off for 2 weeks, and you have to be celibate for 2 weeks.
You're missing something.
What?
Kate is not corresponding with Robert. She's corresponding with Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry, with
He's
Joe.
pretending to be Robert.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joe, excuse me. Are you telling the story?
No, I'm not. It seems like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But I love you, so keep going. Go ahead, babes.
Okay, so she decides, okay, I'm going to give this a chance. I'm going to go to Los Angeles, and I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. She meets the real Robert at the train station, because she takes a train there. It's a long.
She's really into trains.
Yeah, she's really into trains. I personally like them better than planes, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because they're fun.
Oh.
But she's really into trains, and she took this long train ride from Chicago. They are meeting each other, and I forgot, she asks, in the ad, he says that he's been celibate. And
is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
You had to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Yeah.
Because I did some medical work.
Okay.
And I had to clean up afterwards.
Okay.
After my medical work. Ouch! Babes, that was my balls.
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't that hard.
That was an accident.
Yeah, and here, I did some medical work on last night. And I cleaned up, and then I get hit in the balls.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Alana really enjoyed my medical work last night.
Oh my goodness.
Can we say that? Is that true or not?
No, it isn't.
Oh, no, now you're lying. Now you're lying. It was very much implied that you had a good time with my medical work.
Right.
Will you say that that's true? And then we can move on? That you enjoyed my medical work last night?
No comment. Well, I'm going to move on.
Okay. Go ahead. But I missed part of the movie because I had to clean up after surgery.
I had to go to the bathroom.
Clean up after surgery. Keep going.
Okay.
After love surgery.
All right.
All right, keep going, babes. I'm listening.
Are you feeling all right, Bubs?
I'm feeling all right.
Want me to do it again?
I think you're a little bit testy, but I'm feeling all right. Keep going.
Yeah, something's testy.
Oh, what else? Keep going.
Testes. Anyway, so, okay, so she goes to Los Angeles. They talk about why he's celibate. I cannot remember his answer. He drops her off at her hotel. And then, so she's, unpacking her stuff, and she she doesn't want to let him know that she is doing a story on him. So, some other things happen. They go on a date to a Japanese place.
That was before they hit the hotel.
Okay, that was before they hit the hotel. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Eventually she goes to his place and proves that she's not exactly good in the kitchen. Because I think she almost burns whatever they're cooking. I forgot what it was. Oh. And then, she is trying to make it so that he doesn't know that she has a tape recorder. And she takes a button off of her shirt. It was a shirt, right?
Yes.
She takes a button off of her shirt and pretends that, oh, you know what? I lost a button. I have to sew it back on. And she doesn't know how to sew, so he ends up sewing the button back on. And that's a way to distract him from seeing the tape recorder. Or the tape. Could you chime in, please?
Other stuff happens. She helps him get an account with this old guy by, bringing her around as they're finalizing the deal at the pool.
Yes.
Joe's girl and her pull the old guy into the water. And the wife is like, I can never get this old guy to go into the water.
That's a different guy. Joe's not the old guy.
I know. I said Joe's partner.
Joe's partner, yeah, the secretary, I think, right?
No, his partner. Meaning his life partner. his bottom bitch.
Bubs.
What? That's what they call it on shows?
No.
Oh.
He had an ex-wife, Bubs.
Joe had an ex-wife?
Yeah.
No.
Or I'm sorry, Robert had an ex-wife.
I know.
Sorry.
We're talking about Joe.
Okay, Joe.
Okay. Anyways. So that happens. And the relationship is going well. Eventually, Robert takes your girl out for a date.
Yes.
He's drinking a lot. She drives him home, kind of wrecks the car. They're about to do it, but he falls asleep, wakes up the next morning, and she says, "We had mind-blowing sex last night, bro."
And then he goes out and sees that his car is wrecked.
Yeah, she's like, "I can hardly walk today, bro."
I'll pay for the damages.
Yes. He goes into the office. Part of the bet was not only would he give Joe $2,000, but if Joe would have lost, he would have given his boat over to Robert. But since Robert lost, he gets to lose his car.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. We'll go through that. Robert comes back home and decides that he can't take it anymore. He's going to tell what's-her-name the truth about this little thing.
Yeah. Kate,
now, meanwhile, she's been lying to him.
She's been lying to him, and her name is Kate in the movie.
Okay, great. Yes. So he sits down with Kate. He tries to tell the truth, and she just freaks out on him.
And they say, "Well, you weren't honest with me." And
yeah, she runs away. He goes to Mexico to start drinking. Comes back like I don't know how many weeks later, and is presented with the article that she wrote in that magazine.
And he finds out that she was playing him too.
Right, by reading the article, babes.
I know that, but...
okay.
You're not being very nice.
No, I think you're a little bit under the... In any event, your man, Robert, decides that he's going to sue Kate for $10 million. And Kate's father happens to be some bigwig attorney, because of course he is.
Of course he is.
Right.
Of course he is.
They offer to settle for $20,000. Kate doesn't want that to happen because she wants to go to court with Robert and see how he operates in the courtroom.
Yes.
And so they go to court. He's like talking. They're both having flashbacks. Mm-hmm. She like whispers to the judge, I think I'm in love with him.
And it's like, I don't have any malice because I love him.
Yeah. And so they settle the case for $1. Robert gets to keep all of his accounts and his job.
Right.
And ends up with Kate at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen worse movies than this.
I was hoping it was going to be better than I thought it would be, but it wasn't. It was actually kind of disappointing.
I would not recommend it with one exception. If you're just like cooking and you want something to put on in the background that you're not really paying attention to, this might work. But is it a movie that I would recommend that people sit down and really watch? No.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Valerie Bertinelli has been in a few, movies like Lifetime movies that were made for TV. So this is no exception.
Yeah, and when you were explaining it to me, I'm like, ooh, we're gonna watch this.
I thought it looked okay when I was in the kitchen and my mom was watching it, but this is like towards the end when they were in the courtroom.
Yeah, I kind of chuckled at the courtroom scene. And
that's
there's
kind of funny.
A weird scene in the movie where they're out having dinner. I think it's when he's getting drunk.
Yes.
She goes to the bathroom and throws away one of the tapes in front of his secretary, and that never comes up again in the movie.
Yeah, it never does. She doesn't fish it out of the garbage.
No. Or even mention it to Robert.
Exactly. It never happens.
This is not the best movie I've ever seen.
No. It wasn't the best, it wasn't even that funny either.
No, I didn't think it was going to be that good, but it wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't. Well, I wasn't sure if it was going to be good either. I just thought maybe that might be fun, but...
Besides for your mom, is there anybody in your real life that you would recommend this movie to?
I don't think so. Yeah. It's not... I've seen a worse movie with my mom just recently called Honeymoon with Mom, and it was worse than this. I mean, there were some funny parts in it, but it was still pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
There we go. Oh.
Well, and then Love by Accident was okay too. That was another movie that I saw with her. But this one is not that great either.
It sounds like you don't have the best track record of watching movies with your mom.
There's only 3 movies.
Out of the last
I mean, I watched The Other Sister with my mom.
Okay, that's a pretty good movie.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yes. I watched other things with her, but some of them were like, hits and misses. So it's not,
I'm excited about tonight, though.
All you.
We're gonna watch. One, I might do some more medical work.
Oh my goodness.
Because you need some follow-up surgeries.
Do I really?
Yes.
No, I don't.
And who knows, maybe I'll keep you awake this time. But I'm bummed. That's a joke.
Wow.
Also, too, we're going to watch No Country for Old Men, which neither of us have seen. And then you wanted to show me the Gremlins.
I wanted to show you Gremlins because, number one, I haven't watched it in years. I think I may have watched it once. And I don't know if it holds up today. And I don't remember how good. I don't remember if it was good or not. I think it was just a fun movie that I watched when I was a kid. And in fact, Michael Winslow plays the voice of the evil one.
Yeah, you told me that several times.
I'm telling people here.
Okay. Oh, good.
And the good one's name is Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Yes, Gizmo the Gremlin.
Yes.
Just remember, don't put them in water.
Okay.
They'll multiply.
Yes. Yes. Well, good, Jill. Well, good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know really if it's worth doing character analysis with.
No, it just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny.
No. She does have a certain energy to her, though.
She does.
I mean, I've heard people talk about Valerie Bertinelli for years, but for real, this is the only thing outside of the Food Network that I've seen her in.
Well, she was also in One Day at a Time with Mackenzie Phillips.
Right, which we've established that I've never seen.
Yeah, and this is when she was at the height of her, teenage career.
Her Bertinelli-ness.
Her Bertinelli-ness.
Yes.
But she is a good cook. I've seen her on the Food Network, and I did like her show.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Mackenzie Phillips is the one who used to sleep with her own dad, right?
Well, she wrote about the dad abusing her that way. I thought it was really creepy.
Oh.
But we're not going to get into that because it's...
We're not?
No. It's pretty disturbing.
Okay.
And she also was into drugs and things like that. And
nice.
It was pretty disturbing. Nice.
I'm joking,
nice.
Jaylo. Come on. It's pretty what now?
No, she had a hard childhood, it sounded like.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
But she knew Valerie Bertinelli because they worked together.
Yes, they did. It was, I think Bonnie Franklin played their mother.
I don't know who that is.
Another actress.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with her either, but she was on that show.
Yes.
One Day at a Time.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, babes?
I had a hard time going to sleep. I didn't get to sleep until probably like after 12.
Yeah, and I fell asleep
between 12 and 1.
Maybe a half hour after we stopped talking.
Yeah. I was just trying to get comfortable.
Oh. That's going to be harder this weekend, babes.
Oh, I know, it will. I'll survive it.
I hope so.
Yes. We'll both survive the weekend, I'm sure.
I hope so.
Yes.
I once again left my phone in the other room, so I don't have the notes about my dreams. But tomorrow, you'll hear some good dream stories.
I hope so. I want to hear your dream stories.
You will, babes. I could run and get my phone, but I don't know.
No, you don't have to do that. It's okay.
We'll save that for tomorrow.
Yes.
Anything else, babes? Maybe after we do this, we should watch some Ken Bowens.
I don't know. I really want to find my game first.
Okay. Because at some point we should actually dedicate ourselves to getting through the war so we can move on to the boys.
I know.
Yes. And so I have a friend who is watching Breaking Bad for the first time.
Right.
Is almost finished with it. I don't know. Maybe after we watch The Boys, we should watch Breaking Bad. That's a thought.
I don't know. It doesn't sound. I know. You told me about it so many times, but I'm not sure.
My friend is really anti-meth. Like he told me that he didn't want to watch Breaking Bad because it has to do with meth, which is a dumb reason in my opinion. But
it's just a depiction of
it is what it is. I don't want to support meth, so I didn't watch it. Well, good for you, bro. Meanwhile, you're missing out. But finally, he watched it, and he really enjoys the show.
Oh wow!
It's something to consider.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it an acquired taste? Because not everybody's going to like it.
Not everybody likes it, but most of the people who I know that have seen the show really enjoy it.
I think it's interesting that you told me that they have colors in the theme.
Yes. It's one of my sister's favorite shows of all time.
Like pink, white.
Yes.
Is there blue in there too?
You're going to have to watch the show, babes.
Oh, goodness. Well, I just asking.
Okay. What? Yeah, but it's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. There's Skylar.
Yes.
In it.
White.
Yes. Gray. But anyways.
Gray.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to talk about, babes?
Do you know why there's colors in the theme?
You're gonna have to keep watching it, babes. Now there is blue meth in the show.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Some of that Heisenberg.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Anything else, babes? Are you good? You seem a little out of it.
No, I'm fine.
I know you're fine, but you seem a little.
No, it's no. I'm just thinking about where my cane could be. Okay. No, I'm okay.
Do you want to look for your cane while I tell the Mike Lindell story?
No.
Okay.
Bubs, honestly, we don't have to talk about every single disagreement.
I love you, babes.
I don't always like to put stuff on display all the time.
Okay, babes. Especially when you're alone.
Hey!
Okay, babes. Okay. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Actually, I need a kiss before we start.
No.
We know if we're good, we should be able to kiss.
Okay.
All right, babes.
Okay.
We're calling it.
Okay.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.